Welcome to Market Weekly, brought to you by Nairametrics Television, your one-stop source for Nigeria's biggest financial headlines and global market movers. I'm Frank Fagbo, and this is this week's roundup, which features Nigeria's new growth outlook. It's a big win in corporate earnings. Then taking a look at what is happening with Google. Google's $70 billion splash. Now, we'll also break down the NGX equities and the sharpest market movers of the week. This is Market Weekly, brought to you by Nairametrics Television. Let's dive right into the heart of the matter. Let's start with some of the top stories. We're starting with a key story. We're seeing what is happening with World Bank projecting 3.6% growth for Nigeria in 2025. Nigeria's GDP is projected to grow by 3.6% in 2025, and this is higher than IMF's 3% forecast. Now, the growth drivers include improved oil production. Remember what is happening with our oil production. We're currently at 1.6 million barrels per day of production, and right now we're seeing improved oil production, FX reforms, and lower inflation. The non-oil sectors like the agri sector and the telecoms are also expected to play a significant role. Inflation is forecast to drop to 17% by the end of 2025. And this is even 2% higher than President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's projection of 15% by the end of 2025, encouraging more spending. Risk remains around currency volatility and capital inflows. Let's take a look at what's happening with some of our local stories. Our current account surplus expected to rise from 5.5% in 2024 to 9.4% in 2026. And this will be boosted by strong remittances, higher oil exports, and falling imports. Now, the exchange rate liberalization has also reduced our FX demand pressures and also reflects stronger external trade resilience. And then we're going to take a look at what is happening as regards this suggesting potential for improved foreign reserves accumulation. And this is what is happening to our current account. Let's move on to some other stories. As we're seeing that federal government has earned 1.16 trillion naira from banks in just 2024. More than shareholders. The federal government received 1.16 trillion from banks in taxes, levies, and penalties. Now, the shareholders received a combined 951 billion in dividend. The cash reserve ratio penalties and regulatory charges boosted the federal government earnings. Some major contributors include GT Zenith Bank, Axis Bank, and UBA. It also raises a lot of debates and concerns about the tax burden on financial institutions. And then we shift gears to what is happening in the corporate world. We're seeing that Ikeja Hotels records 2.4 billion naira in the first quarter of 2025 as regards profits, declaring dividend. Now, Ikeja Hotels has posted a 2.4 billion pre-tax profit, and this is up by 327% year on year. Now, the revenue rose to 6.4 billion naira, backed by improved room bookings and also events. They also declared a 15 kobo dividend. They declared 15 kobo final dividend to shareholders. The cost of sales rose significantly, but a lot of margins has improved. Results also reflect strong post-pandemic hospitality recovery. And then we're seeing that it looks like these guys are really ready to serve a lot of investors. Let's move on to what is happening as regards our global stories. Now, Google beats estimates. They beat their forecast, authorizes $70 billion buyback. Now, the Q1 revenue surged by 12% year on year to $90.23 billion. Their net income rose by $34.5 billion, driven by Google Cloud and ads. The company declared its first ever dividend, increased by 5%, and also approved a massive 70 billion stock repurchase. AI and enterprise services are a key growth engines, and they've been playing heavily in the artificial intelligence space. We're seeing what is happening across the tech ecosystem. Let's move on to Apple. This time around, Apple to shift iPhone production to India by 2026. And this is as a result of the trade war between US and China. Apple plans to shift all US-bound iPhone assembly to India. Over 250 million iPhones expected to be produced in 2025. The strategy aims to reduce dependence on Chinese factory. So the Indian manufacturing partners like Tata and Foxconn are set to ramp up output. The move aligns with global supply chain diversification trends and also as regards what is happening between China and the US. And then we shift gears to what is happening in China. China activates emergency economic plans. China is preparing emergency fiscal and monetary tools as a response to growing global trade tension, especially with the United States of America. Their plans include stabilizing credit flow and supporting exporters. The government prioritizes economic stability and local growth in the midst of the trade war between the US and China. And all of this is bracing for potential tariff-related disruptions. And then we'll take a look at what is happening with the US bonds. Even the US bonds are losing safe haven status. Now, Treasury yields surged due to rising inflation fears. A lot of investors are pulling out of bonds despite global uncertainty. Now, the bonds are no longer seen as a guaranteed safe haven for investors' funds. Market volatility increases across global credit markets. Emerging markets may most likely face higher funding costs and capital outflows because of what is happening in the global markets. And then we shift gears to our equities market. Now let's take a look at what's happening in the NGX equities market. The NGX sees a modest rebound as market sentiment improves. We're going to take a look at what has happened in the markets from the 22nd of April down to the 25th of April 2025. The NGX All-Share Index on Tuesday, which was the first trading day of the week because Monday was holiday. And so we're seeing the NGX, the All-Share Index at 104,739 points. The daily change, 0.49%. Market capitalization, 65.81 trillion naira. And this is valued at 7.19 billion naira. So numbers of deals for the day, 13,734 deals. It looks like a lot of investors were just waiting for the holidays to pass so that they could invest because 13,000 deals, that's some decent numbers of deals if you ask me. International Brewery, 6 naira, 5 kobo, up by 10% gains in the market amongst the top gainers. And then Nigerian Breweries, 39 naira, 80 kobo, 9.94% gains in the market. TIP, 5 naira, 9.89% gains in the market. And then we shift gears to those at the bottom of the pyramid. Top losers, International Energy Insurance Company, 1 naira, 34 kobo, 9.46% decline in the market. NSL Tech, 51 kobo, 8.93% decline in the market. And then we take a look at UPL at 3 naira 10 kobo, which experienced some 8.82% decline in the market. Wednesday, the second trading day of the week, that's the 23rd of April. The all-share index ended at 105,283 points. The daily change, 0.52% gains in the market. What a bullish day. Market capitalization stood at 66.15 trillion naira. And that is a value that is valued at 18.26 billion. Now it looks like this is record because this is decent for the day trade. Numbers of deals, 11,226 deals. And this is just 2,000 lower than what we had the previous day, which was 13,000 deals. Now was hovering around 11,000 deals on Wednesday. Some of the top gainers, ABC Transport, 1 naira 56 kobo, 9.86% gains in the market. VFD Group, 17 naira 10 kobo, 9.62% gains in the market. Learn Africa, 3 naira 56 kobo, 9.56% gains in the market. And then we take a look at those at the bottom of the pyramid. Some of the top losers, Triple G, 1 naira 98 kobo, 10% decline in the market. Emirates, the energy sector, 157 naira 50 kobo, experienced some 9.95% decline in the market. Abe BDS was seeing 8 naira 79 kobo, 9.94% decline in the market. And then Thursday, the 24th of April, 2025, the all-share index increased and a bullish day again, 106,074.26 points. Daily change, 0.75% gains in the market. Market capitalization, 66.66 trillion. Now look at how the market has been going. Consistently on a bullish move, bullish momentum. Market capitalization, 66 trillion naira. That's some 66.66 trillion naira, valued at 10.37 billion naira. Now, the numbers of deals, 12,142 deals. Some of the top gainers, WAPCO. It's been a long time I've seen WAPCO amongst top gainers. WAPCO is there this time around on the Wednesday trading day. We're saying 79 naira 20 kobo, 10% gains. And then Itana, featuring among top gainers, 36 naira 30 kobo, 10% gains in the market. And then it's so exciting to see Ikeja Hotels, after the story about Ikeja Hotels giving dividend during the local story. You're seeing Ikeja Hotels right now featuring amongst top gainers, 11 naira, 10% gains in the market. Let's take a look at those at the bottom of the pyramid. The top losers, John Holt amongst the top losers, 6 naira 30 kobo, 10% decline in the market. HM Call, 4 naira 70 kobo, 9.96% gains, 9.96 decline in the market. Multiverse, 7 naira 80 kobo, 9.83% gains, 9.83% decline in the market. Multiverse amongst the top losers this time around. And that is it for the Wednesday trading day. And then let's move on to what happened on Friday. You can see it on your screen, how the market ended on Friday. And this gives you an insight as to how the NGX performed throughout the week from the 22nd of April 2025 to the 25th of April 2025. That's it on this episode and on this edition of Market Weekly, from upbeat economic projections and bumper Q1 earnings to global tech surge, and then the bond market surge happening in the US. And you've seen how the market has performed so far. That's it on this edition of Market Weekly, from the upbeat economic projections and the bumper Q1 earnings to global tech surges and bond market shocks that happened in the US. It's been a week of recalibrations. As always, stay tuned, stay sharp, and keep making smart money moves as we bring you Market Weekly every weekdays, brought to you every week, brought to you by Nairametrics Television. My name is Frank Fagbo. I'll see you on the next episode. Make sure you remain profitable. Cheers.